To page 164. It is Wednesday, April 13th, 2020. Don't forget your page number. Don't forget your Roman numerals and whether it's odd or even. I'm actually doing this on Easter Sunday morning. A prepared mind is ready for the unexpected. So planning is really, really important. I'm joined by Daisy and Spot and Tiny. Okay, so the first word, number one, is the word agree. What's the word? All right, exactly. Agree. When you see eye to eye with someone, when you consent or accept, when you're like-minded, when you see things the same way, okay? Agree. So let's go. Agree. Agree. We use double E. Let's go. Agree. Agree. All right, so how do we mark this up? Exactly. Underline the A and the E. The A can say A at the end of a syllable. That is rule 4. Okay, you could write out the Roman numeral. That's what I'm usually doing, but it went off my mind for a few seconds. Okay? Now, when you agree with someone, you have an precisely agreement. Okay, and an agreement is a deal or a contract. It's when things are in harmony. When you have an agreement, it's like a promise or a vow. Think about a wedding. They promise, they have an agreement to love and to care for each other, respect, etc., 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 etc. Let's go. Agreement. Agreement. So let's go. Agreement. Agreement. All right. So how do we mark this up? Exactly. Underline the A and the E. And the A can say A at the end of a syllable. You got it. Rule 4. You can do the rest. Now, going back to the word agree. When you don't agree with someone, we call it a what? We say we disagree. And the prefix dis in most words means not. To not agree. Before we get to it. So to disagree is to differ, to be at odds with someone or something, to have a conflict. An old expression is to lock horns, and that came from the people observing animals with antlers, rams, moose, deer, when they lock horns, when they're in a battle or a conflict. So let's go. Agreement. Disagree. Disagree. Okay, so let's go. Disagree. And of course you can expand that with disagreement, although I'd like you to challenge yourself with that. How do we mark this up? Exactly. Underline the A and the E. We know what rule that is. And what do we do with these 3 words? Exactly. Precisely. So I want you to don't limit yourself. I'm not going to keep on saying this. Agree, agrees, agreeing, agreed, agreement, agreements. By the way, a good synonym for agreement, I think I said, it's like a deal or a contract. And again, to be in harmony, to promise, to vow, to have a vow, to make a vow. Okay, so let's continue. You can see Tiny's whiskers right over there. I'm tickling. Right over there. Okay, so the next word is the word ceremony. What's the word? Exactly, ceremony. And a ceremony is like a formal occasion or an event like a wedding. It's a celebration. Ceremony. Okay, so let's go. I'm running. I got to get this over here. So let's go. Mo-ni. So let me do that again. Mo-ni. For the S, we use K. All right, so let's go. Boy, they're really gathering around today. Ceremony. Ceremony. Okay? We don't say ceremony. We don't say ceremony. We say ceremony. So we have a lot to mark up. Let me get the red marker. Okay, so right, we put the first sound and the first sound. Continue, underline the O. The O can say O at the end of a syllable. But before that happens, we need to go in order. I see a rule, exactly. Rule 2, soft C, when followed by Y, I, or E. and the O can say O at the end of a syllable. You got it. That is rule 4. Okay. If you're going to use the word ceremonies, change the Y to an I and add ES. That's rule 15. Please be aware of that, okay? So the next word is the word necessary. What's the word? All right, necessary. And something that's necessary is something that's needed, that's essential, that's extremely important. It's a must, it's indispensable. Like all living things must have water. It is necessary for living things to survive. In order for living things to survive, it is necessary for them to have to drink and have water, food, clothing, and shelter for human beings. These are the basic necessities of life. That's a variation on the word necessary. Sometimes mom might say, if you try to answer her back, was that really necessary? Was that needed? Was that a must? Was that required? Required. Okay, so necessary. Let's go. Necessary. Necessary. Let's do it again. Ser E. Okay, it's a lot going on. Let's go. Nes. I messed up. Scratch that. Necessary. Necessary. I'm sorry about that. I was looking at another word. Okay, so we have a lot to mark up. We don't say necessary. So let's go. First sound, first sound, first sound. But I see a rule here, exactly. Rule 2. Soft C when followed by Y, I, or E. Okay, my apologies for that. Just ignore that. Okay, so necessary. And the last one for this particular sequence is the word conceal. What's the word? Exactly, conceal. And you've heard this word before. You might not quite remember, although a lot of you would. Okay, and conceal means to hide or to cover. It's to be hidden. All right, it's to be out of sight. So, for example, like camouflage or to disguise, to hide something, to disguise your feelings. You don't want to show someone that you're upset sometimes, so we conceal our feelings. Conceal, okay? Something that's inconspicuous, that's not obvious, is to conceal it. All right, let's go. Conceal. No, it doesn't have anything to do with those creatures from the sea. For the S, we use K. For the E, we use E-A. So conceal. So let's go. Conceal. And again, to hide, to cover, to keep out of sight, to camouflage, to disguise, to be inconspicuous. All right, so how do we mark this up? Exactly, underline the E, and once again, we see a rule. You could put a repeat sign since necessary had that. How about this? It's not necessary for you to write the word rule 2 again because it was already done. See what I just did? Okay, it's not needed, it's not a must. Okay, so let's go. Conceal. Conceal. Got this over here. Necessary. Necessary. And again, notice we divide the syllable between the double consonant. Ceremony. Ceremony. Disagree. Disagree. Agreement. Agreement. And agree. Agree. All right, have fun.